From two beautifully scenic and historic locations, the Hudson Valley, New York, and Willow, Alaska. This is the Sibe Vibe, brought to you by Dogworks Radio. Your hosts are author, journalist, and photographer, the Five Sibes mom, Dorothy Wills-Raftery, and Dogworks Radio executive producer, canine behaviorist, trainer, and lead musher of Team Maneke, Robert Forto. The Sibe Vibe is all about the magnificent breed of the Siberian Husky. From training to grooming, and for those who show and breed. From parenting to playing and rescuing Huskies in need. Whether mushing over snow-covered trails or lounging on tropical shores. Even for Hollywood Sibes on the big silver screen, and so very much more. If it's about a Siberian Husky, we'll chat about it here.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Sibe Vibe on Dogworks Radio. I am your host, Dorothy Wills-Raftery, and in honor of March 26th being Purple Day for Epilepsy, we are launching a new special feature to my podcast episodes that I'm very excited about. As many of you listeners and readers know, I've been an official Purple Day ambassador since 2012 and an advocate for canine epilepsy since one of my five Sibes, my woolly Siberian Husky Gibson, was diagnosed with idiopathic epilepsy shortly after his third birthday in 2009. Through our journey, the Five Sibes Live Gib Strong Canine Epilepsy Awareness Campaign was born, and 2 books on canine epilepsy inspired by Gibson. On Purple Day 2018, I proudly partnered with the Anita Kaufman Foundation and the Purple Day Every Day campaign to present our hashtag Pause for Purple educational program. You can find all our materials and information at purpledayeveryday.org/pause-for-purple, and that's the number 4. And of course, over on my online canine epilepsy library at 5sibes.com and Facebook, you can follow us and chat with us at 5 Sibes Siberian Husky Canine News and Reviews. Our special feature kicks off today with my sharing some of the touching stories about amazing dogs living with seizures and canine epilepsy from my book, Epic Dog Tales, Heartfelt Stories about Amazing Dogs Living and Loving Life with Canine Epilepsy, as told by their loving families and caregivers. I have to let you know there may be a tissue alert on these podcasts for some tears, as we hear firsthand the trials and tribulations of their personal journeys with canine epilepsy, but mainly the message about how these amazing dogs do not let epilepsy stop them from enjoying life. While the book is about epi-dogs from all different breeds across the world, we are kicking today's show off with the Siberian Husky who launched an awareness movement, and is why I am an advocate on this topic to this very day, my Gibson. I will also share the stories of fellow Siberian Huskies Holly Stoddard's Boo and Katrina St. Clair's Kira. Future episodes will feature more of our Epi-stars until we have shared all 122 stories. There are limited edition copies of the book remaining, and you can purchase the beautiful large coffee table style book from our ArcticHousePublishing.com website with a link to Amazon. The book also features an extensive informational and resource section on canine epilepsy, and a portion of proceeds from the book are donated by me to the Canine Epilepsy Resources Epil Canine Foundation, housed at the North Carolina State University College of Veterinary Medicine, and that's the Companion Animal Epilepsy Department for canine epilepsy projects and research. I hope you enjoy the show. Gibson. The unusual thumping sound startled me. I shot a glance at my alarm clock, which was glowing a bright blue 6:15 a.m. Then I heard it again, thump, thump, thump. Low whimpering cries and howls from our 5 Siberian Huskies who were sleeping in the family room alerted me that something was wrong. I arrived just in time to open the crate door and see my beautiful woolly boy Gibson in a full-body spasm. His eyes were wide and glassy, foam at his mouth, while a horrible gurgling sound escaped from his throat before he became deathly still, his legs stretched out stiff before him. As I reached down, he was not moving, not a twitch, not a breath. My heart pounded. Screams filled my head. No, please, God, I prayed. He can't be dead. Gibson had just celebrated his 3rd birthday 10 days earlier, and now he was gone? It was an unbearable thought. I had to leave the room to get the telephone to call a 24-hour emergency hospital that, thankfully, was only about 5 minutes from our house. I returned to Gibson's side and thought I saw one eye twitch. Then nothing. I glanced away as I dialed the number with trembling hands. I thought back on what they all had eaten that previous night, what they had played with, wondering whatever could have caused this. Tears streamed down my face as a receptionist answered the line, and she listened sympathetically to my cries. I turned to glance back at my boy, only to watch in shock and disbelief as he staggered from his crate. His eyes were glazed, he had temporary blindness, he was disoriented and weak, but he struggled to walk toward the sound of my voice. Tears of joy spilled down my face. Gibson was alive. He was admitted to the emergency hospital and they ran tests. He was transferred to my regular vet's hospital when they opened, where they ran more tests. It was determined he had a grand mal seizure. Since his tests all came back normal, it was determined to not start him on medication and wait and see if he had any more seizures. 2 months later, he seized again and then went into cluster seizures. We rushed him to our veterinarian hospital where he went into yet another seizure, but thankfully they were able to break the cycle with medication. He was diagnosed with idiopathic epilepsy, and they started him on a protocol of phenobarbital twice a day and potassium bromide once daily. Since pheno can adversely affect the liver, I gave him the supplement milk thistle for liver support. He has also been diagnosed with an underactive thyroid and is on thyrotabs. I have complete blood panels conducted every 5 months to be sure all his levels are within the normal range for a dog on these types of medications. It's not an easy road with a dog who has canine epilepsy. It's scary, it's worrisome, it's emotional, it's regimented. Every day is planned around a strict medication schedule. But Gibson is an amazing boy. He is an old soul who can communicate and love tremendously with just a look. He understands everything. He likes to give Gibby kisses and loves the snow. He loves treats and walks. He is the happiest when he's with the love of his life, our black and white Siberian Husky Harley. While his meds manage his seizures, he has had a lot of side effects over the years, ranging from lethargy, a 20-pound weight gain, periodic vomiting, extreme thirst and hunger, and weak hind-end issues. In the summer of 2011, he suffered a sudden, severe case of ataxia. The pharmaceutical company had changed the potassium bromide capsule formulation without notifying vets or the public. Within 2 days, he lost control over his hind end, then his front legs. He became so weak he could not stand, and when he did manage to get up, he would fall and slam his head on the floor. Once again, I feared I was going to lose my boy. I knew in my gut it had to do with the reformulation, so I immediately brought him to my vet. Diagnosis: bromide toxicity. My vet reduced the amount of the potassium bromide to half the prescribed amount in an effort to detox him. By the grace of God and my amazing team of vets, my warrior boy rebounded. I've chosen to let go of my anger over the pharmaceutical company's unannounced reformulation that made my boy so very ill, and just concentrate on the fact that Gibson pulled through. Additionally, we've been able to keep him at the reduced levels, along with his pheno. Because of the medications, he continues to have weak hind-end issues and bouts of vomiting and lethargy. I try to combat those through gentle exercise, home massage, laser therapy, supplements, and a healthy diet that includes pumpkin and green beans that resulted in a 20-pound weight loss, bringing him back to his pre-epilepsy weight. His weak hind-end issues have also contributed to a bilateral CCL tears that we are treating through non-surgical conservative care management, consisting of rest, vitamin supplements, laser therapy, a stability brace, and a sling harness. It is a slow process, but it was this decision I made together with my vet so we could try to avoid surgery and possibly trip seizure activity. Gibson just celebrated his 8th birthday on January 6, 2014. He is a wonderful, amazing, loving soul. I know this disorder can rear its ugly head at any time, even with medication, but I take each day as it comes. We were chosen to travel this path together. Gibson has taught me so much about love, loyalty, patience, determination, communication, teamwork, and trust. We have an unbreakable, special bond. Together I forever stand with him, Gib Strong. Dorothy Wills-Raftery, New York, USA. Our next story is about Boo. Shabu Boo is our second female in the pack. She's a 10-year-old black and white Siberian Husky. She was the runt of the litter, but we didn't care. She's our beautiful brown-eyed girl. Boo started having grand mal seizures in January of 2009. I would like to share the following part with you all, so maybe we can learn together about seizures. On one afternoon a week after Christmas in December of 2008, I let our Sibes out to go potty, and when I looked out the window to check on them, Boo had no use of her back legs. I immediately called the vet, and my husband and I brought her right over for an emergency visit. Boo had pinched nerves in her middle and back end of her spine. They gave her a shot and meds to take home. She cried all night. I called the vet's office back the next morning, and she was able to get her in for a visit with our regular vet. He gave her another shot and told me to keep her on the meds. By Friday of that week, she wouldn't eat or take her meds anymore. Saturday morning, I called the vet's office again. While waiting for a vet tech to come back to the phone with an answer for me, Boo had gone out in the snow, rolled around on her back, and must have popped it back in place, as she was fine. But by January 2009, she started having the grand mal seizures. Our vets feel there is no relation between the situations, but to me it seems more than coincidental. The seizures have aged Boo, but she still knows how to use those beautiful brown eyes to get her out of trouble with Mommy. She is the sweetest girl. Even after having a seizure, she gives me kisses as if to say, "Thank you for helping me through it." Usually after Boo experiences a seizure, she knows to nap the rest of the day, and by the next day she is back to Boo mode. Other than her seizures, Boo is a typical Siberian Husky. Her two favorite things in the world are rides and snow. We have to spell ride out, R-I-D-E, so she doesn't know what we are talking about. And when it snows, she is so happy. She loves to sit out in the snow for hours on end. When the snow is gone, she will lay around acting sad about it. Boo is the only dog from our pack that we have ever seen grieve over the loss of another dog. My parents had adopted a Siberian Husky, Spooky, and it was the only dog that Boo would bow down to when he came to visit or we visited them. She loved to play with him. She seemed to know he was an older dog and showed such great respect for him. For a while after he had passed, she was grieving the loss of him. Then shortly after his passing is when her seizures started. I am not sure if this is just a coincidence or a trigger for the seizures. Boo is special to me. As an adult, she is my first dog that I've had since a puppy. I love taking pictures of our pack, but she's the one that knows if she sits pretty, Mom takes the picture and I get my treat quicker. She seems to enjoy teaching her newly adopted Sibe sister, Ariel, all the good and bad tricks she knows. It's a joy to watch them interact as a pack. We just hope for many more years of a normal doggy life for her. Holly Stoddard, New York, USA. Our final story for today's episode is Kira. Kira is a beautiful sable Siberian Husky born in Minnesota on August 26, 2009. She came home with her new family in October and met everyone, including her mom, dad, a brother, and 12-week-old golden retriever Marley. She fit right in and was soon romping all over the house and running around with both her fur and human brothers. In late December 2011, the family and Kira welcomed home a new human brother. From the beginning, Kira worried about the newest member of the family and was constantly trying to check in on him to make sure he was okay. If someone was holding him, Kira was right there. If Mom and Dad laid down for a nap, Kira would lie close by. She would even howl when he would cry. One day, her new brother cried for a long, long time, and it was just too much for Kira. She started pawing the ground like it was too hot to the touch, and started swaying as if she had gotten in her dad's beer. Then she lay on her side, clenching and unclenching her paws. Dad knelt down by her, petting her and telling her it would be okay. Mom and Dad thought it might be an anxiety attack. Worried, they took her to the vet the next day. He said it was a seizure. The vet wasn't sure if it was a one-time occurrence or if it would happen again. A few weeks later, however, it did happen again. This time, Kira had her seizure in front of her mom. Since the two seizures were not close together and weren't overly severe, the vet said to just keep an eye on her and report any new seizures. It took a while, but Kira had some more seizures. After the fourth one, her Hugh parents decided to get blood work done and make sure that the seizures weren't the result of anything that could be treated. Dad took her to the vet on March 18, 2013. The blood work all came back okay, but the diagnosis of idiopathic epilepsy was made. A new diagnosis is a little bit scary, and Kira's human parents are still learning. Kira, however, is not going to let canine epilepsy stop her enjoyment. She started skijoring in the winter of 2010-11, and it has become her favorite winter pastime. She also loves running, playing, camping, hiking, and counter-surfing, as well as following her now mobile little human brother around. Kira plans to continue her favorite winter pastime and many long walks, jogs, and camping with her family when the white stuff is gone. Katrina St. Clair, Minnesota, USA. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today's very special episode, and we hope you have a wonderful seizure-free day, and we will talk to you again soon when we're back with another episode of the Sibe Vibe here on DogWorks Radio.
From DogWorks Radio, this is the Sibe Vibe. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we invite you to subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find a link on the episode notes. You can tap or swipe on the episode cover art, and you'll see some offers from our sponsors. You can support our show by supporting them. If you like what you have heard, we would love it if you could give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe too. Your host is Dorothy Wills-Raftery. Our producer is Robert Forto. Created for DogWorks Radio.